All right, today's the day where we are going to put together all of the Father's Day crafts for 2025. I'm excited to get all of these put together. And there was one that I forgot about that I'm gonna sneak in at the end, which is going to be super cute as well. So let's go ahead and get started. We're gonna do some fun things. I have past videos on Father's Day gifts if you want to take a peek at those as well. I'll do my best to link those down below in the description box. As a reminder, because YouTube is always changing, if you click on the title of the video, that's how you'll access the description box and the list of materials and sources that I have used in this video to put all of these things together. So let's go ahead and get started and let me know which one ends up being your favorite. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is I have this little ruler here. I'll link these down below. They are the perfect size. They came in a multi-pack, so I'm using one as a gift, and then I'm going to obviously use some in my craft room. They're just the perfect size, especially for card making. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have some adhesive vinyl here, and I am using quite repetitively this font, which you'll see in a minute. I'll link it down below. I love it so much. It's more like a varsity font, and it works really good for masculine gifts. So what this says, and it's hard to see because it's white on white, so I'm sorry, but it says, "Dad, nobody measures up to you." We're gonna put it right on this little ruler. So let's grab all of the little middle pieces. I'm just collecting those on my finger as they come on out. I thought this would be really cute for my hubby's tool bag. He always has odds and ends in there, and I thought this would be a nice smaller size for those littler projects that he's working on. But of course, you could also size this up and do a full-length ruler if you'd like. I've also seen this done on levels as well. Okay, so very easy. Easy to personalize too for grandparents or any dad figure in your life. Actually, I'm going to not use the remaining other ones for crafty related things. I'm actually going to use them as teacher gifts. I think these would be cute teacher gift ideas as well. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just burnish that really quick on the front and back, and then we'll remove that cutting sheet, and there is our vinyl right on the transfer tape. Okay, so I'm gonna have it go this way. And you can do whatever color that you want. I really liked the white. And honestly, I just sized this visually, but it ended up working out really good. Okay, Dad, nobody measures up to you. Again, switch out the font and color to what fits your style or the style of the recipient. My hubby will definitely love this look though. Okay, I'm gonna remove that transfer tape, and then we have our letters right there. Isn't that cute? And you know what would be even better is if on the back you have your little kiddos. Oh, and I'll do that. I'm gonna have my kiddos write their name and age on the back. That way we can put a little time stamp on this little gift. Love that, so cute. Okay, what a good first project. The next thing that we're going to do is we're gonna grab the Glowforge real quick. I wanna make a really fun picture frame for my husband that I've had saved in my cart for creating, and we're gonna use Proofgrade materials. I'll link everything below for you. All right, we have everything all cut with the Glowforge, and I have my acrylic pieces. Again, I use the Proofgrade material. I like those because I can just place them in my Glowforge. My Glowforge reads it automatically and knows how to apply the cut settings. I also have some Gorilla Tape because many of you recommended it for getting the mask off. Again, the Proofgrade materials come with this mask already on there. Actually, this is going to be easy enough to remove, but the front might need a little help where it did the embossing. There we go. But the point of the Proofgrade material is that it has this mask already on there. So the mask helps to remove any of the scorch marks. So you see how there's that burned look right there. So if you have the mask on there, then the scorch marks remain on the mask so that when you peel it off, just like this, then it is not on your finished project. I actually might not need to do, of course, when I have the materials, I don't need them, but I'll use them next time. We'll see once we get to the letters. But many of you told me, oh, that's cute. Many of you told me to use the Gorilla Tape just to help get all these little pieces off. But looks like we are going to do that next time. So I just got some Gorilla Tape. In fact, I had my husband pick it up at the hardware store the last time he was here. That way I was ready to go. But next time we'll bring that out because this is easy peasy enough to remove. Okay, so there is that. And then this is going to be that back side of the frame here that we are going to glue together so that we can put a little photo inside. You can also put a magnet on the back of this. I think this is actually advertised to be a magnetic frame, but I'm gonna have this for my hubby's office, so I'm not gonna put a magnet on the back, but that's the look there. Then we have our acrylic pieces that we did the daddy and hammer and nails. Okay, maybe we will try the Gorilla Tape for this part. Okay, super strong tape. Okay, that's worth it. Let's see if I can get a couple uses out of it because we just need it to grab a section. Oh, wonderful. Okay, that was the first time cutting acrylic on my Glowforge. I love how that looks. So that is going to go right up here. And then honestly, we don't even need to do the whole thing. We just need to get enough, there we go, to grab a little corner. Turn it over and grab another little area. Get that right off. Oh, that cuts so beautifully. These pieces are so nice. And then right over here. Okay, so I have all of those ready to go. Thanks for the recommendation on the Gorilla Tape. That was amazing. So now what I'm gonna do is, I can't remember which glue is recommended, but I have a Gorilla Glue that I'm gonna give a try. And I had my Glowforge score the areas where these go. You certainly don't have to. They are pretty easy to line up as is, but I'm gonna glue those down and then I'm gonna place some clamps on there just so that they stay put while they dry. And then we're gonna circle back to this in just a little bit. So let's see if I can get just a little bit around here. Yeah, some glue on the back. And I'll just line that up where I'd like it. Awesome. And actually, you know what I'll do? I'm not gonna clamp that down. I'm just gonna set that there. Let's see, which way does this go? I'll set that there and then we're gonna put this to the side. Then we can check back on this in a little while. Let me know what your favorite glue or adhesive is for acrylic. I'd be interested in knowing. But there's the last little bit. And in the file, when you purchase this, there are different wording options for the top as well. So you can kind of personalize it to whoever you're making this for. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this to the side and let this dry for a bit and we'll circle back later. All right, I always love doing a personalized mug. I do it every year, and this time I'm actually reusing a mug that I did several years ago. It's also fun just to remove the vinyl and do something fresh and new for the current year, which is fun. You don't have to do that, but gives you an option if you're getting bored of a design. Better than donating it, right? So I love this mug. I think I found it at Target. It doesn't have anything on it though in terms of branding on the bottom, but I'm pretty sure that's where I found it. And I'll link the designs that I'm using down below, but this is just a simple best dad ever. Always keep in mind if your recipient is a right-handed person or left-handed so that you know where to put your design. You can always duplicate it as well and put it on the front and back. This is actually just purely personal preference, just as anything is when you are creating it. But I know my hubby is right-handed, so I'm going to do it just once on the right-hand side. Okay, that looks good. I'm just going to nudge up one of my little lines here. Looks nice. Okay, then I rub that down with rubbing alcohol just so that it's nice and clean. Oh, that looks so good. And I'm giving enough room to sip at the top, so ½ inch or so, you can judge. Vinyl technically isn't food safe, so you just don't want to have the lip come into constant contact with that. So give some room to sip. Burnish that down some more. And then this will be hand wash only. It'll also be something you want to avoid in the microwave. That way it lasts really nice. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna go slow because there are some delicate areas around that dad word. Just like that. And there is this year's mug. I love that. That is so classy. Okay, these are mirrored, but I'm also going to make some new shirts for my husband. In fact, I was going through his side of the closet the other day and I noticed that he has, and they're very well worn, all of his previous Father's Day shirts. So I know he really loves these. So I'm gonna do this one. Again, it's mirrored. Let me turn this around so you can kind of get an idea. This says best dad ever, but I loved that it had the 3 hands down here because we have 3 kiddos. So I thought that was so cute. And then many years ago, I made myself a Mama Cubed, or I think, yeah, Mama Cubed shirt, and I still to this day get stopped about it. So it's time for my husband to have one too. So I am using that fun font that I was mentioning earlier, but I will be listing it down below for you. I just think it's nice and fun and masculine. But I went ahead and just wrote out dad, and then I did the 3, but I also curved this so that it just takes on a nice curved look on the shirt. So I have 2 shirts that I got from Target. They are so extremely soft. I personally like to, here's what that's going to look like. I personally like to pre-wash my shirts before I put iron on them. I want to compensate for any type of shrinking or anything like that. So I got this really nice sage color, and then I got a navy color. And they are just crazy soft. So I'm really, really happy with these. Let's go ahead and go over to heat press. We're gonna get these pressed on. I'm gonna do the dad to the 3rd power on the navy, and then I'm gonna do this sage color with this other little design. I love it. Okay, what you're gonna see me do is pre-press the shirt to make sure there's no moisture in there, make sure they are extremely dry from washing and drying. And then I'm gonna lint roll the surface to make sure there's nothing on the shirt. Then we'll press these down. Okay, that one has already peeled off, so let's let this cool down and then we'll remove this liner as well. Right, that's nice and cool, so I'm going to just pull that liner off, being gentle, making sure all of my iron-on has laid down. If not, I can just take it over and apply more heat. But if I do need to apply more heat, I do need to lay this liner back over it or a piece of parchment paper. You just don't want to expose your iron-on to your heat source unprotected. Okay, looks great though. No issues at all. I love it. Okay, oh, I love that design. I think that is so fun. All right, so there are Some new shirts for this year. One's super fun. I love the classy look of this one as well. And I hope he gets as many compliments on it as I have for mine. So very cute. Let's go ahead and do another gift idea. We are just zooming through these. All right, I found this drink carrier. Isn't this cute? I found this at the Target dollar spot. It folds up just like so and then folds down, but I thought this was so cute, so I went ahead and got it. I think this would be a fun gift kind of bag almost. You could put your guy's favorite beverage in there, and then we have a nice little area. Let's go ahead and clean it off. We have a nice little area to personalize right up here, which is so thoughtful. All right, let's go ahead and again, just rubbing alcohol to clean that off. And okay, let's see which way. I used that same font here, but then I also used some free stars from Cricut Design Space to put to the left and right, just to have a little element of fun here. But this is simply going to say Dad Fuel. There we go. Get some transfer tape. Right, and then place that right over. And I might need to trim this down a bit as well. In fact, I'll do that before I remove my liner, just because that's a little narrow area that we're putting this in. So it might help to have this be nice and skinny. Okay, that should be good. And then I'll burnish that just like that, front and the back as well. And there is our design, ready to go. Okay, let's bring this in here and lift it up a little bit so I can see and align it. I think that looks good. Okay, love it. Burnish down once more. And sometimes plastics can be a little silly to lay vinyl on. Once you get it down, it's good to go, but sometimes it wants to be a stinker laying down. This one looks like it's gonna be just fine though. And if you need to, just keep burnishing it down with your scraper or your fingers just to press that vinyl into place. But this is doing super good. Love that. It looks so fresh with a little personalization on there. Okay, so fun. And you can put, again, your hubby's or your dad's favorite beverage in there, and it acts as a fun little gift bag as well. I love the idea of having a lot of fun little things on the counter for my hubby for Father's Day, so this will be a fun one to add to the mix. Okay, this is doing really well. I'm gonna give it a lot more time to dry, but it is doing really good. So what I'm going to do to finish this off is I'm gonna print out a picture, I'll put it inside, and then I'm gonna glue it into place. So then I'll glue the front and the back. So that's what you'll see me do off camera, but you'll see a final look of it in the video thumbnail, and maybe I'll post a picture of it also on Instagram. So, all right, let's move on. I also want to do a fun grilling apron for my husband, but I just wanted to give you a heads up that this is looking pretty good. I found this apron at Hobby Lobby and I loved the color of it. And I also have this SVG here that's really cute. It says coolest dad ever. They also have a lot of fun SVGs that are puns for grilling. So you can do any of those as well. Really have fun with this, but I love the look of this. So we're gonna go ahead and do this file right on this cute apron and put this together for him. So it's gonna be the same as the shirts. We're going to pre-press the material, lint roll, and then iron down our design. Okay, cooling this down. This looks so good. Love that. I like how classy and just timeless that design looks. Okay, now that it's cool, I'll go ahead and just peel away the liner, just like last time, monitoring all the edges and making sure everything remains laying down. There's nothing tugging or pulling, wanting to come up. There we go. Looks great. And there is another fun gift idea for Dad. Again, lots of fun designs. If you just type in grill apron for Dad in whatever area you're searching for designs, you'll find so many cute ones. They're all really nice. Okay, one thing I forgot about until just about 20 minutes ago-ish is, let me zoom out just a little bit. I had this from last year and I totally forgot to use it. This is called a trophy ice bucket and I thought this was so cute. You can use this to put your gifts in, which would be really fun. So I need to figure out a design to put on the front of here. Since it's kind of obviously a trophy type bucket, I want to do something about #1 Dad or something like that. I think that would be super cute. So let me go ahead and ponder on that. Then we'll get this decorated and then all of our gifts can fit right inside. Okay, I found something that I thought was so cute. It says Most Loved Dad. I'm going to grab the SVG. So I downloaded it and it's on my desktop. I'm going to click the SVG to upload it into Cricut Design Space. And then there it is. I'll click continue at the bottom and upload. And here's our file. Okay, I thought that'd be cute. It's kind of like one of those award things. I thought it was cute. So I need to decide on how big I want this. I'm gonna do actually right about there, about 5.5. That looks good. And it is 1 layer, so we're good to go. I'll go ahead and say make it and cut it out on my Cricut. Okay, so I have it all cut out. I just used the premium vinyl permanent setting. I use that setting for any and all vinyl that I use, any brand, but I know that doesn't work for everybody. Whoops, I got a little crazy with this V. So always do a cut setting test on your machine just to double check. Okay, Most Loved Dada. So cute. And I have this little V that needs to go right back on there. So glad I thought of this. It's been sitting in my craft room for a year to do, so I would have been so bummed to have that wait another year. Not that you need to wait for Father's Day to do a gift like this, but it's definitely a fun Father's Day idea. Okay, grabbing the middles of my letters here. There we go. Okay, I have a piece of transfer tape that's not quite big enough, but I'll show you how I'm going to make it work. So I'm going to grab the piece that's just about big enough, line it up. You can see that my D didn't quite make it there. So I'm just going to reuse another piece that I used earlier. And as long as I overlap my transfer tape, you don't want to put it on its own. You want to connect them. So as long as I connect them, just like that, then it's all going to be one piece again. So it's a good way to use your scraps. Burnish those, and I'll do the back, and I'll cut this down so that it all matches up. Okay, there's our design. Now, because that bucket has been in my craft room for a while, I feel like this is very orange coming onto the screen, sorry about that. I'll use this cup cradle to help. But I'm going to wash it down again with some rubbing alcohol. Let's see, I'm going to do the other side. There we go. Make sure this doesn't get anything on it. Okay. Then I'm going to start on the transfer tape that I laid down first so that it grabs that second piece that I had. This is all that full sheet, but now we're coming up to that second piece that we overlapped. And now it's all one piece. Okay, here we go. Now this takes a little bit of a curve, so I'm gonna actually focus going up a little bit so we can see it more. I think that looks good there. So I'm gonna actually kind of just burnish it down with my fingers to allow each and every letter to take on the curve of this little trophy. So just focusing on each letter instead of the whole word. If I need to, I can manually kind of place these down and gently remove the transfer tape and do any spot checks that I need. There we go. Looks good. I have that D that needs some help, but I can fix that easy peasy. That laid down. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just peel this up and help it take the curve of that trophy a little bit more. Got a little crinkled, but that's okay. So I'm just gonna help that lay down. Already fixed. I'll do the same over here. And just relay it down. Sometimes manual is just better. Okay, and then we'll gently lay that down and done. Looks great. Oh, it's cute. And then we can roll up the shirts and place them in here, add favorite snacks, favorite beverages, and we can put the frame in here and the coffee mug in here. It's gonna be so cute. All right, such fun gifts for Dad this year. Everything is turning out so cute. And if you want to see it all assembled in that trophy bucket, just go ahead and follow me on Instagram. My handle will be down in the description box. That way you can see it all come together. I'm gonna get it all nice and ready to go and ready for him for Father's Day. So loving the shirts, and this is drying beautifully. I am really happy with how simple this project was, but how that turned out. It looks so cute. And then of course we have this year's mug and added an apron to the mix. So very excited to get all of these arranged in this fun bucket for him this year. And again, you can see the final version over on my Instagram when I get it all ready to go. Thanks so much for watching. Let me know which was your favorite, and I'll see you in the next video.